Welcome back to the O Hockey Show. I'm your news anchor, Wizzy Beetlebug, here to tell you all the news from across the hockey world here on O Hockey Show News. Now, today we're going to start off with Jordan Kyrou signing a long extension before his final year here in St. Louis. Well, here in St. Louis. I'm definitely not in St. Louis. For 8 years for $8.125 million. And I always wonder sometimes, where do they come up with these, like, weird numbers? Like, where did the 125 come from? You know, why not just, like, 8.1 or 8.2 or, like, 8.15? Like, what? Why did they specify? Like, were they just going back and forth? Like, okay, we really don't want to. We're already paying you $8 million, but we're really struggling. We don't want to go 8.2. We don't want to go 8, but they don't want 8.1. The highest we're willing to go is 8.15, but we're going to come down, so we'll meet in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, where do they come up with these weird numbers sometimes? And then, like, even get weirder when, like, sometimes the number's, like, 8.325567. You know, like, where did the 367 come from? Like, who cares? But anyways, Jordan Kyrou is one of the best players in the NHL. To be honest, I used to sour on him. In his first year, I think I don't know if it was the bubble year or the year before that, whenever it was, people were starting to, like, generate, like, oh, this Jordan Kyrou guy. And I gotta tell you, I always hate them. It's the same thing with Nazem Kadri this year, where I'm like, just because a guy is having one good season doesn't mean he's gonna pan out and be great. But I should have listened to Jordan. I should have listened to everyone else when it came to Kyrou. Because he's a kid. Think about guys like Nazem Kadri or guys like, who knows, right? Just those guys that have a good year. It's like Chris Kreider as well. Everyone's like, oh, Chris Kreider, like, look at this guy, what a beauty. It's like, no, he had one good year and he's already like either 30 or close to 30, you know? Jordan Kyrou's still young, he's still growing, and he's growing into a well-defined player. I love Jordan Kyrou. Just watching him in, like, the Winter Classic and the playoffs, like, when it comes to important games, like, this kid, he is a fire breather, and I just came up with that term. I don't even know what that means. But it sounds cool. He's a fire breather. So Jordan Kyrou, I love the guy. I think he completely deserves it here. Yeah, I think he was only being paid like 2 point something before this. So for his current contract, so he definitely deserves this, and I think he's gonna be a great stay in St. Louis for a long time. But I gotta say, with a deal like this, you might squeeze out some depth players from the Blues lineup, and certain guys, like, who knows, like Ryan O'Reilly's supposed to get a paycheck after the end of this year again. So I don't know. What do you do with a guy like Ryan O'Reilly, who I personally think is fallen off, when I think a lot of people would agree. But yeah, so good deal for Jordan Kyrou. Completely deserves it, and I can't wait to see what he does with during the length of this contract. He could go down as one of the best Blues ever. Moving on to a guy who won't be the best of anything ever is Tyler Mott. He had, like, 15 points or something this year. I don't even know what. He signs to Ottawa for 1 year for $1.35 million. And fair, whatever. Who cares? I just decided that another signing should add it. Another one was Sean Durzi is signed an extension with the King. Well, not an extension. He was a restricted free agent. So he's staying around with the Kings for, I think it was 1.7. So I like Sean Durzi. I think he's one of those younger guys that I think definitely could pan out to be something special with the Kings. Especially one of the few shining lights of such a miserable franchise. But moving on to this news that I don't know if a lot of people saw or didn't see, but I thought it was hilarious, was that the NHL wants to use gators at the All-Star games next year in Florida. Now, I've been trying to figure out myself what this could possibly freaking mean by they want to use gators. Like, do they mean they want... So I've been trying to think of the games in my head, because they were talking about, like, how they want the outdoor games, right? So I've been trying to think, like, what could that mean? So what I was trying to, like, toss around some ideas. So maybe what they do is that they'll have, like, a piece of chicken or something, and they'll shoot it off, like, a ramp. And they have to see how far it goes before a gator, like, snaps out of the air. But then at the same, like, you know, like, try to get the farthest shot. But, I mean, who knows how far you can shoot a chicken, so I have no idea. I was also thinking, like, are they going to, like... I mean, I imagine by what they mean by that is that they're just going to kind of have, like, a cage of gators on the side. So, like, when they're at, like, the Bellagio for the last one, and, like, they're on the fountains or something, like, they'll be on the beach in Fort Lauderdale, and there'll be just, like, a cage of gators on the side. I think that's kind of what they're thinking, is that they'll just be there. But if they're gonna use them, like, what if they do like a mini golf, like, end of the course thing, and they have to, like, shoot, like, maybe the gator is like a goalie, and you have to, like, shoot the chicken or whatever past the gator. So some fun ideas that maybe I could. Oh my God, what if eventually one day when I've got 100,000 subscribers, because that's gonna happen, I'll tell you that. And what if that's like a challenge I do that's like 100 million view video? It's like the biggest video in the hockey world. And I just like get a gator and I have to shoot pucks past him. Or chicken. I have to shoot chicken past him. And then what if that's a series? What if that becomes like animal goalies and I'm like the animal sniper. Well, this sounds bad, but like instead of the crocodile hunter, I'm like crikey, I gotta shoot this chicken past the croc. Something. That's an interesting idea. And then like somehow it gets crazier and crazier, and then like at some point there's like a lion. That'd be kind of a fun series. If someone steals that from me, I have proof that I've said it before, and I'm coming for you. So don't take that idea. I've got some more ideas, but I'm not going to tell you what those are, so don't worry about it. Anyways, moving on to the next bit of news. The Jets strip Blake Wheeler of the captaincy. Not surprising here. However, once again, I went over this in my Winnipeg Jets worst contracts video. People trash Blake Wheeler way too much. I don't get it. I don't think he's that bad of a player. I don't think he's that bad of a guy either. He is overpaid, but he's definitely not, like, the worst player on the ice ever. So, he got, like, what, 66 points or something last year? I don't even know what to say to that. Like, he's not that bad, but apparently he's bad enough to take the C off of him, which has inspired me to, I'm going to do a video. I don't know if I'm going to do it on every team or just sum it up or whatever on who should be the captain of teams that don't have captains or whatever. So, interesting thing. I'm not surprised. Who deserves it on the Jets? I feel like people would probably say Scheifele, but I feel like Scheifele seems to be kind of a weirdo. Not a weirdo, but he seems he seems off. I don't know if that's... I think he just seems a bit off to me, so I don't think he should be the captain. Maybe like a guy... Connor Hellebuck should be, but, goalies aren't allowed. So, I don't know. Well, it doesn't really matter either. Captaincy, like, what does it even mean? I know what it means, because I have a lot of grievances with how captaincies go, but whatever. That's a whole story for a podcast another day. Moving on to Pasta wants to stay in Boston, which of course he does. He said that he wants to stay here. It's his home, and cool. I would find it hard to believe them not keeping around. However, Boston is currently minus -2 million over the cap, so I don't know how. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how it all works. I'll be honest, I don't know, but he wants to stay, and I'm sure they'll figure it out. If Pasta moves, that would probably spell the end of that'll spell a long, dark history for the Bruins going forward. I'll just say that. So, because if he leaves, and Bergeron's already has a foot out the door, Krejci's getting old, Marchand seems to only get better with age, but eventually that's got to stop. Charlie McAvoy's good, but he's not good enough to carry a team by himself. So if that happens, I don't know. That's catalyst a big, long fall from grace for the Bruins, but I don't see it happening. Now, next, Mackinnon says that he wants to Mackinnon is set to sign before the start of the NHL season, which, I mean, who really cares, I guess, because who cares when you sign your extension? But once again, I personally don't think that he deserves to be paid the highest amount by any player in the league. McDavid is easily the best player in the league. McKinnon has never gotten to 100 points. Yes, he's got to 99, but he is just not the best player in the league. And people are always like, oh, everyone always said, including you, bud, if you're watching this, I know you, big dog. So, Yeah, I don't think he deserves it. And he was only paid like what 6.8 million before. Now if he's paid 13 or not even 13, let's just say 12 million. I mean, that's gonna choke out somebody else's contract. A guy like Sam Girard and certain guys that are gonna need contracts in the future, like Bowen Byram, like New Hook, like some of these young guys. They're not going to be able to keep around, so I think we might get a Toronto Maple Leafs situation on our hands here. Now, I will say they are in a better position than the Maple Leafs. If you told me what set of 4 guys would you rather have Tavares, Matthews, Marner, and either Nylander or Morgan Riley, depending on how you want to put it, or would you rather have Makar, McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog? I would definitely go with the Avalanche's 4, but this is gonna choke them a little bit if they sign him for not this upcoming year, obviously, because it's an extension. So for next year, so this might be the Avalanche's last run to really put together a solid all-around team with the cap space they have, which I don't think they have very much of. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. It'll be interesting, and I'm interested to see what the actual number is. And finally, Toronto Maple Leafs, along with the Canadiens, are the first 2 teams that have branding on their jerseys. And the Maple Leafs announced that they're going to have the Farmers of Toronto, Milk Farmers of Toronto. That's what it is. And they're going to have a milk logo. And I looked at it. It's like a little cursive milk. I like it. I'm not against the brand logos as long, and I know everyone's like, don't like make it all European. I mean, of course, that's a given. But personally, for me, I don't care as long as the logos like go along with the jersey. The Canadiens, the RBC, I think it is. I think that's what is that? Is that the because it's the something Canadian. It's the Bank of Canada or something like that. I like it. The blue and the little bit of like the gold and blue look on the rest of the jersey. It fits. It belongs. Because it looks like a royal like patch. You know, it looks like it's official. Like it's a brooch. It's you know what I mean. Like it's like when someone's wearing a suit and they've got like a little pendant here or something. I like it. I think it looks clean. I think as long as the logos look nice on the jersey. Now, something that could happen is like with the Penguins when they had the PPG paints one and it was like that light blue and the white. I think light blue does go well with their yellow. I liked how their old jerseys kind of had. But obviously that stuck out like a sore thumb. So but certain teams like the Coyotes, like some of them, like the Mountain Credit Union, thing on their helmet, it looked perfect with their logo. It just kind of looks like another logo in the lineup of the team. So for me personally, I don't really find it that big of a deal as long as the team actually. It looks nice if it goes along with the team. The milk one, I mean, first of all, it's funny because it just says milk. But at the same time, I like that. I love milk. I gotta be honest. I've been on a milk high lately. And it just looks nice. So I'm gonna, as they come out, I don't want to seem like certain channels where they just cover everything logos related. But I love looking at logos and stuff. So I think I'm going to start doing some of that type of stuff. And as they come out, so far, I think there's only 2 so far. I think the Columbus has one as well, actually. I think they have one here as well. Actually, I think there's more than I think about. I think there's one for the Capitals, too. But anyways, the ones that I've seen so far, to be honest, I'm not against. I think they look fine. I just think as long as they go along with the jersey, and it seems like it because for the Capitals they have Capital One, you know, it's it fits perfectly. It just looks like another logo in the lineup, and as long as things look like that, as long as they fit along with the team's branding, as long as we don't have the Red Wings and they have actually the red and white kind of doesn't matter because it goes along with a lot of other colors. As long as we don't get let's say what's a team with a lot of colors on them? Let's go with Vegas. No, not Vegas, because they're kind of a pretty clean look too. Oh, you know what? Let's say Calgary, right? Let's go with Calgary. They're bright red, yellow, and white jerseys, super bright red and yellow and white. If right here they have a patch for, let's say, What's a green company? Let's just say something green. Like, that would look terrible. That green and red, like, that would look awful. So I feel like, for me, as long as the logos are stylized to either fit along with the team, I think it would be fine. But anyways, I've gone on too long about a topic that wasn't even on the board. However, I'm going to start doing some of that type of stuff. I'm going to figure that all out. So I guess until next time, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please pick up your free subscription by hitting that red subscribe button. If you liked it, please leave a like, not a dislike, but go down below to the comments and tell me, what are your thoughts on everything I said? Do you think Kyrou deserves this contract? Is Tyler Mott? Whatever. What do you think? What type of games are the NHL going to use for alligators? Are the who's the Jets' next captain? Will Pasta stay in Boston? What does Mackinnon get paid? And what do you think about the logos on the jerseys? And until next time, I've been your dapperly dressed host, Owen. Thank you for watching this so much. If you've watched to this point, which I'm surprised, but if you did, mwah, that's what you deserve. Too sweet, you're too sweet. And I hope you have an awesome day. And ta-ta for now, you beautiful people.